This is Neal Murphy here at halftime with our Coach's Corner. I'm here with Jamie O'Connor, current teacher in our foreign language department, and also class of 1990. Well, Jamie, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Neal?
Not bad. How'd you like the first half?
I think the Stags played really well. They took advantage of given, so up 21-0. That's a good result.
A little sluggish to start, maybe a little bit of a letdown after we played St. John's last week. Such a big, emotional, well-played game. We come in, we're a little sloppy at first, but we made some plays, and now we're comfortably in front. We got Bo English resting a little bit, so that's good. We're able to hang on to this lead, and look forward to a good second half. Now, of course, we always like to bring in people who would be of great interest to the Napa community. Unfortunately, they were all busy tonight, and that's how Jamie ended up here. But Jamie, your class of 1990.
Yes.
Where'd you go to grade school?
Grade school, I went to St. Joseph's in Beltsville.
St. Joseph's in Beltsville. Okay. Now, when you came to DeMatha, did some of your classmates come with you, or you by yourself, or how'd that work out?
Quite a few of us. Actually, I think one of the only people who, Moss Collins' son, went to St. Joe's, and he went to Carroll, of course, which is, Moss was the old football coach at Carroll.
Kind of the border of football in the area.
Yes,
legend.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. So, but quite a few, probably about 10 of us came to DeMatha. So.
Okay. Now, why did you choose DeMatha, or did your parents choose, or how did that work out?
I had two older brothers that went to DeMatha, and actually I was recruited for music, not for anything else other than music. So,
well, as you've told me several times over the last couple of days, you were first chair bassoon. Correct?
And I always will be.
At least, now, I wasn't able to get anybody in the music department to verify this, but we can go with that. Okay? And I know you played soccer, but you also, the word on the street was you're a pretty good basketball player. How did your basketball career
What streets were those?
What?
They were not the streets of Hyattsville. My basketball career was short-lived at DeMatha because the old freshman coach decided that my services were better used elsewhere. So I forget who that coach was. Do you recall?
I do recall. Actually, I gave you a couple extra days. The first day, I couldn't believe how bad you were. So I figured, well, he's got to be sick. He's got to be injured. And then the other thing I was trying to figure out, I couldn't figure out if you shot right-handed or left-handed. And then after I watched it for a while, I realized it really didn't matter. But I recognized you had talent. I just knew it wasn't in basketball.
Yes, absolutely.
So we ended your basketball career, but we started your soccer career.
Propelled me.
So with that one move, I was able to elevate both programs.
Correct.
That was pretty good. Talk to me about your 4 years at DeMatha, particularly the teachers you had, maybe the influence they had on you.
Well, actually, the school, does a great job in getting students prepared for college, and I was amazed at the instruction, and that's kind of what drew me back to DeMatha to teach. But I had such great experiences with Mrs. Yarish and Mr. Carroll, and so many other teachers that Mr. Kelly. Who actually went on to teach at McNamara as well. But they were such great influences and real positive role models. And I had a lot of great experiences, made a lot of great friends.
Okay, and the music, understand you're still involved. Like, we've got the big Kaleidoscope concert coming up next Saturday. I think, again, you're telling me your first chair bassoon.
Yes.
Do many of the other alums from the music department, do they come back and play?
There's quite a few. Now, I know Matt Fickle leads a lot of the different brass ensembles, but there's quite a few, but there's mostly a lot of teachers that participate. I know David Gang brings out his tuba, and there's several other teachers that join in the festivities.
Well, I know that a lot of talk in the faculty room arguing over the past couple of years what was the bigger draw, you as first chair bassoon or Rick Reeves and his sterling rendition of Dem Bones.
Well, yeah, I can't even come close to topping what Rick Reeves has done on the musical stage at DeMatha.
Okay, and you have two boys.
Yes.
Do they play musical instruments?
Owen plays bassoon as well. He started off on trumpet, but I knew nothing of trumpet, so he switched over to bassoon, and I've been teaching him how to play the bassoon. Liam actually started today. Liam's in fourth grade. He started today playing saxophone. So, and we may transition him over to bassoon, but because college is expensive.
Do you think maybe he was just afraid to follow in your footsteps?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, he's always in my footsteps, whether I like it or not.
So you leave DeMatha
Yes,
and you go to Indiana.
correct.
Now, Indiana's a great school, great institution, but you wouldn't say it was a very popular one. DeMatha students tend to stay more on the East Coast.
Correct.
Why'd you pick Indiana?
Originally, I was a music major, and so what happened right before I went to music, my parents decided that it would be a smart idea to have my wisdom teeth pulled.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out to the number one music school program in the country, and they didn't really care too much about my problems with playing. So they decided that, again, like you did, maybe my services would be best elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Now, so you go out there, right? You graduate in 1990. Do you think maybe they were trying to make inroads to Mathis, so maybe 20 years later they could recruit Victor Oladipo?
Yes, I think that they had some sort of Kreskin moment, and they decided to recruit Victor through me, vicariously through me. So
Somebody out there really sees the big picture.
yes, absolutely. Tom Crean, who wasn't even probably coaching at that time, decided that my best bet would be to come to Indiana.
All right, so you're out in Indiana, and they've got a Hall of Fame coach. When you were there, it was Bobby Knight.
Yes,
When you were at DeMatha, did you go to a lot of DeMatha basketball games?
I went to a few, and
Okay, I know you had to buy a ticket,
yeah,
but you went to a few, right?
I found it.
Two Hall of Fame coaches. Some people say they had different styles. Would you say that's fair?
Absolutely, absolutely. Bobby Knight was a more in-your-face kind of guy, and Morgan Wooten was, he was just such a great coach and a teacher, and he taught every moment that he had. So, a great guy, great guy.
Okay. So you graduate Indiana in '94.
Correct.
You come to DeMatha in 2005. Why'd you come to DeMatha? How'd that work out? You're 11 years into whatever you're doing in your professional life, and you decide, no, I really want to go teach Spanish at DeMatha.
Yeah. So, what happened was I was staying home with our oldest child, Owen, and I had kind of hit a peak in my sales career, and so I wanted to change. And my wife was working full time, and I decided that maybe I would do something along the lines of teaching. So Father William Sullivan, and well, seems to be getting a little loud here. Father William and I were good friends, and so we went out to dinner one night. He asked me if I'd ever thought about teaching, and being a DeMatha grad, I think he knew that I understood the values that DeMatha holds, and just the lay of the land at DeMatha.
Well, you're one of many alums that are on staff, and I knew we had a large number, but I checked today. We have 25 full-time staff members, 21 in the classroom. We've got 4 administrative positions.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a handful of interns. I think there's 4 or 5 interns that are working there. Why do you think so many alums come back to the school?
I think there's a draw to come back to DeMatha because it's such a brotherhood. I know that the word gets used quite a bit around the school, but I think there is a brotherhood at DeMatha, and I think that the families understand that, and I know that I'm pretty sure my parents are very proud of me teaching at DeMatha, and I think that they're looking forward to having grandchildren go to DeMatha, and they'll come and see these football games as well as grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've also been involved with the soccer program. For a while, you were a full-time coach there. Now, with your kids getting older, I know you're involved in their teams and whatnot, but you were on the coaching staff of the 2011 National Championship
Yes.
team. What was that like?
That was an incredible experience. We traveled all over the country. We went out to St. Louis. I guess if you're going to travel, go to St. Louis. But we played a team from California out there who was preseason number one in the country, and we beat them. It was a really exciting experience, and we had so many quality players that are currently playing in college now, and all over all the big Big Ten, Big Ten conferences. So it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and the kids were absolutely wonderful. They were wonderful.
Now that you're, as you describe yourself, a friend of the program
Yeah.
because you have other
Yeah.
responsibilities at home, do you miss it, and do you see yourself maybe getting back into it in a few years, maybe when your boys come to school or whatever?
I do miss it, and I still do get out on the field a couple times to do a couple things with some of the goalkeepers, and it's something that I would like to get back into when time allows me. But I don't know if you know, but having kids is a full time job, and they're involved with just about everything that you could imagine.
Right. Talk to me. We have a new class at DeMatha called the DeMatha Way. Basically, it's a year-long orientation for the freshmen. I know you're heavily involved in that. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is I guess, the brainchild of Pat Smith and Dr. Daniel McMahon, the principal. The class is set up to really get the kids into the DeMatha mode and kind of mold them into the gentlemen that we see them in the future. We do a lot of team building exercises. We actually, I was, on October 14th, I believe it is, we're having the poetry reading contest competition. And I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with some of these kids that, with the amount of talent that they have in reading poetry. We have some really great kids who can really speak from the heart. But we want these kids to grow as a unit, and we really want them to feel the brotherhood that we are trying to create in the school. And I think Pat Gould, I teach with him. He's such a great guy, and he really puts his heart into it. So I have a lot of fun in that class, and it's great to see, actually, because I taught Pat. So it's great to see him on the other side of the table now. So
I mean, there are so many neat things about the history of the school. It's great that we can present it over an extended period rather than just jam it down their throat those first 2 days of orientation.
yes,
I think they really can appreciate some of the history of the school.
yeah,
Quickly, new schedule.
yes.
How do you like it?
I actually like it. My only issue is I never know who's going to be in front of me. I'm still getting used to this rotating schedule and the block scheduling. So that's a me problem. But I know the kids enjoy it. I know that I've set aside the 40 minutes interim period, and the kids are supposed to come see teachers, but I'm starting to demand the kids come see me for extra help. And I think the kids are benefiting definitely from this. And it's a great move, and it's definitely progressive.
Yeah, I like it, but I've been here for this is my 32nd year teaching, so I've been doing a lot of same things year to year. It's forced me to go back and rethink things, reorganize things, and basically help me sharpen the saw. All right, last thing.
Yes.
All right, you got two boys.
Yes.
All right, they're great kids, they're musicians, they're athletes. Liam's a very good cross country runner. Owen, I know he likes to play baseball. I got to figure every school in the area is going to want him.
Yes.
The question is this: does you working at the Matha help us or hurt us?
Well, that is actually up to Dr. McMahon. So that's his call. He has said that if I ever left, he would be upset because then he wouldn't have the opportunity to teach my boys. So I think he's actually more interested in educating my children than seeing me in the classroom.
Well, I'm thinking it's a lot like what happened in Indiana and Old Depot. I think they're using you
Yeah.
to help recruit your kids.
I always tell my students I'm he's the second most famous alumni from Indiana that went to the Math.
You keep believing that, buddy. Coach, this is great. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
Neal.
This is Neal Murphy, Jamie O'Connor signing off. Getting ready for the second half.